And just for all the listeners, this is high schoolers that are the people they're the engine that's powering these insights, that's causing CEOs to say, hey, let's have an all hands meeting tomorrow because we need to discuss the work that this diverse group of high schoolers has put together in how long? How long are the projects?
It really varies. And so I will say anywhere from, imagine a 1 week intensive. This is a great kind of summer model, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's pretty short though, right? So that's, you're talking 40 hours. We've done even sort of 3 week sort of after school type models where the students are meeting like a full day Saturday. They meet then 3 times in the evenings each week, 1 hour at a time, doing work virtually like this. They come back and pitch. But I'll tell you what, my favorite model is, and this is really where we focus most of our time, is we are trying to prepare coaches of this work to take this back and offer what we call teamship. That's the name of our experience, to offer teamships to students that are at their school, that are a part of their organization, again, whether that be a nonprofit or something like the Y or something like that. And when they do that, like, so let's imagine, for example, you get to offer this, like one of our high schools does, Research Triangle High School. They offer it as a full year course. These students do 5 different problem cycles, 5 different teams solving problems for 5 different businesses. Imagine when you've had that many touches on the ball, how good you get at this work. So by their 5th cycle, the students are actually picking their own teams, finding their own businesses, sourcing their problem with that business, and then going through the process of understanding the root cause of the problem, coming back to the solution and pitching it back to the business. We talk about, as coaches, what we're trying to do is teach them to fish, right? I mean, that there's some gradual release involved in all that, but they get so good at this work so fast. It's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds really exciting. And the thing I love about it is I was kind of chuckling when you said that people don't think that you can invest and build in teams, because we hear that as well. And it's like, no, that's entirely what we do all day, right?
That's right.
Is we help you build a team that's empowered and agile. And it is a built skill, right? I think a lot of times people think of this, teamwork as like a soft skill. It's actually the most critical thing we do. If you think about it in an organization, there's very few times you deliver something all by yourself, right? Like no input from anybody. That's a very, very rare occurrence, right? So sometimes it will happen, but not very often. And we say the same thing, which is it comes down to those fundamentals, right? It's the same thing where, when you're playing on a basketball team, you have to learn how to pass, right? You have to learn how to shoot. You have to learn the basics before you can put it all together. The thing I wonder about with the projects is kind of, how do you see that? We usually say kind of there's phases to teams, and you've probably heard the old adage, storming, norming, forming, performing,
Yes.
How do you start to see teams, kind of come together, and how do you see the team members themselves start to build that leadership skill of individual leadership, right? Of like, hey, when I'm on a team, I don't need to be the manager to be able to be a leader. How do you see that kind of progress through this year that they may do?
Yeah, let me go back quickly to a comment you made too about the fundamentals. So There's a really important piece that we do here that's related to kind of how they come together and how this work works. So thanks for teeing up the sports analogy there. So let's
use them all the time.
Let's talk basketball while we're at it. So, right, I do think there is something to dribbling drills, right? Left, right, crossovers, all of those things, passing drills, shooting drills. But imagine if that's all you ever got to do.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't be very good at the game of basketball. So, I think a great thing that we can learn in education and learning world, right, whether that be in schools or through professional environments, people need, yes, you need practice on the fundamentals, but you need opportunities to put them in action and be using those fundamentals in context with coaching feedback. And very much in the spirit of a coach feedback, right? Like, you can't play the game for them. You've got to let them play. But you can still give feedback. So I want to just that is very much our approach in terms of supporting students to get better at this work. So, to your question, the fundamentals for us, I'm going to just give 3 tools. And I know tools is kind of some language that you all use too, but tools are behaviors. Tools are things people do in high-performing teams. That is our version of dribbling, passing, and shooting, right? So I'll give you 3 tools that we talk about. The questioning tool. Again, I know this is not rocket science, but we'll dig into that a little bit more, right? Because there's dribbling, and then there's like Kyrie Irving dribbling, right? I mean, so like there's that. There's a tool we call Take 5, which is literally just teaching people the discipline of staying with one person on the team, even up for 5 minutes, and just being invested in them and their ideas and their perspectives and trying to get into their head. And that, again, it's a super simple tool, but you got to fight our instinct, which is we're always so in our head. Same problem with questioning. You're so in your own head, you're really asking questions to make a point. So those tools, questioning and Take 5, help start shifting people to begin to learn how to come together, which is your question, right? How do you do that? Well, we teach people new behaviors, new ways of working. They practice those a little bit. We introduce them, we explain them as tools and how do you get power out of the tool and you know, right? But most importantly, let's get in the game. Let's start working in a team and solving a problem for a business and using these tools, and we'll coach you along the way. The third tool is solo flight, right? This was sort of inspired by Susan Cain's book, Quiet, right? The power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. She talks about introverts being their most productive and creative in solo flights of thought. So we create this tool that says, hey, look, create that space for, if anything, the introverts on your team, if you want to leverage the diverse strengths of everyone on your team. Those 3 tools, huge. It's dribble, pass, shoot. I mean, boom, there it is, right? So that is how they start to come together, is developing those new habits, those new ways of working, but understanding it not as a compliance exercise, not as my teacher told me to do this, so I am doing this, as my coach is coaching me on how to play this game better, how to play this game at a high level. It's a huge shift. And again, that's why I say, why are we doing this? School world and the real world, too far apart. School world, do what you're told, follow instructions, I'll lay it out for you. That is not the real world. So we've got to make that shift and give kids more opportunities to do that.
You've been listening to Building Teams with Teams & Co. To learn more about the latest thinking on how to empower your team to deliver exceptional results, or to book a consultation, please visit us at teamsandco.com or follow us at LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook.